Welcome to Speaking Warrior Training with SML1 and Nanyang Zihui School. Today is exactly on Tuesday, 21st December 2021, and with me, Reni, will be your master of ceremony today. I'm also very happy to see all the trainees behind the stage. I can see that they are already excited and be ready to give their best performance. And also, I would like to greet all the audience for joining us and watch all of us through this live on YouTube. Hi everyone! Let me tell you the purpose of having a real stage. We know that it is the beginning for all of the students. This is the first journey for them in the public speaking journey. Through the school, students got the chance to learn public speaking. In the beginning, they won't feel comfortable speaking in front of the public, and through this platform, the school gives them a chance to boost their confidence through public speaking class. They did it very well, and we do believe, like SML1 always said, making you better you. Not only do we wish to have a good skill in delivering speech, but we also need to have a good manner so we can make an impact in your life. So, ladies and gentlemen, the speakers are ready to showcase what they have learned during the class. Are you ready to watch? I would like to give you a spirit far from here and let us meet our two judges today who are experienced in the public speaking field and also SML1 trainers. I would like to welcome our first judge, teacher Vicky.
All right, guys. Hello there. Great to see you yet again. So guys, this is it. This is what we are today. Yeah. So great job making it this far. You're just one step to go before reaching to another level. So I'm really proud of you for making it here. For those of you who've prepared your speech, I know you've been through, a lot of things on your mind. Some feel nervous, not too excited, but just know that I got you. Yes, I got your back. So just let your shoulder drop and relax. All right. Thank you very much, MC.
All right,
Back.
thank you, teacher Ricky. Now let me welcome to you. Our second judge is teacher Devina.
Hi, all right. Hello, everyone. It's a good day to see you. Yes, and I
Maybe,
wish you, yes,
maybe would you like to say a few words to all the students?
yeah, of course. I wish you all the best, and I am hoping to see great speeches coming up from you, your insights, your opinion, as well as your stories. I can't wait and see you on the room.
All right, thank you, teacher Devina. Okay, in this moment, we also have to say thanks to all the teachers who have supported all of us from the very beginning. We know that some of us will feel difficult to do speech in the beginning, but our teachers support us, and we also need to thanks to our parents that support us in our life project, providing us with the best education and environment. So through this moment, we also need to thank all the people that always support us like our parents, teachers, sisters, brothers, friends, and families. So ladies and gentlemen, I know all of us cannot wait to watch the performance from our amazing trainees today. So let's just kick start to the real stage after these 60 seconds ahead. All right, 60 seconds is up. Now, let me welcome to you our first speaker who will deliver a speech about cyberbullying. So, ladies and gentlemen, Please welcome Ashley.
I'm Ashley, and today I'm going to talk about cyberbullying. So, nowadays, the internet is really accessible to the public. As social media platforms like Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and others continue to grow in popularity, cyberbullying has become a common word, especially among the teenagers. So, what is exactly cyberbullying? Cyberbullying is the use of electronic communication to harass, intimidate, manipulate, or threaten someone. It includes name calling, spreading rumors, spreading private information without consent, personal attacks, harassment or humiliation, discrimination, mis- and misrepresenting oneself, social exclusion, and cyberstalking. Some people even unconsciously did cyberbullying. Even though a person didn't start the bullying, he or she can still be considered a cyberbully just by laughing at the hurtful media and sharing them to others. Any act that is hurtful to someone may be seen as a threat or harassment. There are many reasons why cyberbullying can happen. To protect their egos and feel superior, they make others feel bad about themselves. Some cyberbullies see it as means to gain popularity and others to do it to feel powerful or escape their own problems. At times, cyberbullies themselves may be bullying victims so they prey on other people to feel better about themselves. Some of the cyberbullies are not self-confident who, in many cases, envy their victims. Some of them maybe live in a bad family environment where their parents like to quarrel or they have abusive parents. Unlike face-to-face bullying that can be avoided by staying indoors, cyberbullying is hard to escape. With only pressing one button is enough to broke a person's future, as people around the world can see the information easily. In a real-world bullying situation, most incidents of bullying occur between the victim and a bully or a group of bullies in school. These incidents can range from simple name calling to more significant acts of bullying, such as rumor spreading, harassment, threats, and incidents of physical harm. However, whereas victims of real-world bullying can be granted a reprieve when they go home, there simply is no escape from cyberbullying. Cyberbullying doesn't end when the school bell rings. It can continue anytime throughout all hours and the night. It can come in the form of text messages, social media posts, classroom messages, images and videos that have been altered, and many other digital forms. Cyberbullying leaves little opportunity for the victims to defend themselves. There are no teachers or parents to see what is happening and intervene to put a stop to it. Cyberbullying can also be anonymous, leaving the victim little recourse to even report the bully to an authority figure. And cyberbullying can showcase the incidents of bullying to hundreds or potentially even thousands within a short period of time using social media platforms. If the victim does not know who the bully is and chooses to block them on social media, the bully can simply create a new account, or they can text, message, or use a friend's account. Kids today are extremely resourceful with technology. If they're intent on cyberbullying, there's not much a victim can do to stop them. Cyberbullying can happen anytime and anywhere. The victim may feel that they have no control over the situation. Not only can cyberbullying cause negative emotional impact, it can also cause embarrassment, shame and guilt, isolation, anxiety, and depression. Another side effect of cyberbullying is that the victims may be excluded by others who also fear cyberbullying if they continue to remain friends with the victim. This causes the victim to become isolated and ostracized. With no one to turn to at school or at home, behavioral and mental changes aren't the only effects of cyberbullying. They can be physical effects as well. Intense feelings of stress and anxiety due to cyberbullying can result in physical issues, such as insomnia and harmful eating patterns. The feeling of being loved or harassed by others can prevent people from speaking up or trying to deal with the problem. In extreme cases, cyberbullying can even lead to people taking their own lives. Many kids may refrain from telling their parents about cyberbullying because of the fear that their devices can be snatched away from them for obvious reasons. Sometimes the bully may threaten the victim that their life or the lives of their family members may be in danger if they expose the bully, which the victim believes. There's a recent case where a YouTuber was cyberbullied. At that time, she was in a mentally down state because her father just died. At the same time, an account suddenly appeared and sent her threatening messages by Instagram direct message. That account also spread rumors accusing her of insulting Indonesians. She was also accused to have problems with an animator and disliked seeing her friend's success. Not only that, several anonymous accounts appeared and bullied her. The account not only threw hate speech and threats at her, but also posted unbased photos and evidence. Millions of netizens attacked her, even sent her death threats which caused her to have more severe mental breakdown. As she reported that account to the police and get help from a lawyer, that account deleted all the posts, feeling afraid as the user of that account is guilty of spreading false accusations and defamation. The internet has turned our existence upside down. It has revolutionized communications to the extent that it is now our preferred medium of everyday communication. The internet has become embedded in every aspect of our day-to-day life, changing the way we interact with others. Despite all the good that the internet has brought to our lives, there are people who use it with malicious intent. And just as bullying has existed since the dawn of time, virtual bullying has existed since the beginning of the internet. Cyberbullying can be considered as trivial by the perpetrator, but it can have fatal effects for the victim. It is just a small step from what is intended to be a harmless joke to a full-blown cyberbullying campaign. The lack of face-to-face interaction and feeling of power one gains from sitting from behind a computer screen can turn what might normally be a normal case of teasing into harassment, shaming, and threats. The impact can leave lasting emotional harm and, as mentioned above, lead to suicide. Remember, no one is born ugly. We're just born in a judgmental society. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ashley. What an interesting topic about cyberbullying. So now let me invite our judge to give their feedback. Please welcome Teacher Devina.
All right, Ashley. Well, the very first thing is I'm so impressed of your very closing statement because I love that so much. That no one is born ugly. We just born in judgment, judgmental society. And when you were saying that, that really kicks my heart. It really touched my heart. And at the very end, if you could add a supportive or an encouragement to all of the people out there who might be listening to you right now, that will be even more wonderful because you are not just saying or telling about the effects of cyberbullying, what is cyberbullying and how does it harms a person, but then you can also send a words of encouragement. It is to actually to spread the awareness of please don't do any more cyberbullying, and that is, I guess, the very first reason why you are bringing this up, right? And when you were speaking at the very first time, I was listening to you, and you speak very fluently. It's super smooth with no pause. And if you can try to add more pressure in your highlights, okay, in the highlights of your speech, that could get deeper to the audience heart. Why? Because if we speak in the same speed and same pattern or the same intonation, then that could make the audience actually think, or I personally think, which one is the most important part of your speech. That comes to me at the very beginning. But when it comes to the next thingy, I realized that you just need to add that to make your speech more colorful. So you can actually share the importance of why we shouldn't be doing that and the effects, and that's the energy of spreading the awareness. Because I guess in the future, if you have this thorough research, you have this opinion, you can be one of the person who can speak out of please don't do any more cyberbullying. So keep up the energy, keep on doing the research, keep on speaking out. I believe you will be a person who will shine in the future. Well done, Ashley.
All right, thank you, Teacher Devina, for your feedback, and thank you, Ashley, for your speech. Now let's have 1 minute of silence for our judges to finalize their evaluation. Alright, 60 seconds is up. Now let me welcome to you our next speaker who will deliver a speech about importance of words usage. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Austin. Hi Austin, are you ready?
Yes.
Alright,
So,
now
good afternoon, judges and viewers. It has been a wonderful year accompanied by COVID itself. Good afternoon, viewers and judges. It has been a wonderful year accompanied by COVID itself. Right, maybe some of you guys might be thinking, did he make a mistake? Why did he repeat the same sentence again? Right, if you didn't pay attention, both of the sentences are arranged in a slightly different way. I greet the judges followed by the viewers in the first sentence, but I greet the viewers followed by the judges in the second one. So, how does this make any difference? Well, there are many reasons that differentiate these sentences to one another. One of them is the manner in the sentence. Our habits, at least the majority of us, we prioritize older people more or higher position people first, descending to the lower ones. In the first sentence, I greet the judges first, making a sense that I respect the judges more than the viewers. But in the second one, I greet the viewers first, making a sense that I respect the viewers more than the judges. Right. So we get it. So what's the point of giving out those two sentences? Well, we do believe that words affect people's feelings, so do the placement of the words. A slight change made into a sentence can mean something very important, like those sentences I said before. These words or sentences usage is extremely important when talking to people. You don't want to hurt their feelings, or else you're one of them who hurt me before, because humans cannot not process negative words. Let me give an example. Do not think of an elephant. See? You guys just did it. Thought of an elephant, right? Your brain automatically processed the word, and this thing happens so much when educating kids. Whenever kids fail a subject or more in school, those tests, what most of them get is not love, suggestions, teachings. But what they get are threats, punishments, lectures instead. Sentences like, why did you fail, are much more used than you did good in the lesson. Look, humans are born special. Each individual of us are special with our own ability. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Kids most of the time are compared to one another. Let's say X has a good grade in biology and maths, but he failed art. And Z failed both of the subjects but achieved the highest score for art in the class. But what Z's parent will likely do is to compare him to X. Look at X. He achieved that high score in biology and maths. Why can't you do it? Most parents, all the times, they compare or focus on their kids' weaknesses rather than supporting their strengths. After that comparison, what Z's parents will do is to give him a tuition in biology and maths, resulting in higher scores of Z's maths and biology. But if there's a catch over here, if Z really learns maths and biology seriously in his tuition, if he doesn't, he will still fail those lessons. So now here's the question. Why do Z's parents give him a tuition in maths and biology, aiming to perfect the skill that he don't even have at all at the first place? Why don't Z's parents give him a tuition in art to perfect that skill he already has? The same thing goes to the education. The education, well, at least in my country, Indonesia, kids are expected to be good in all of the subjects taught in school. If there are 9 subjects, he or she have to be good in those 9 subjects. But it has never been fair. Kids are expected to be good in 9 subjects, but why are there different teachers teaching 9 different subjects individually? Look, teachers are humans too, so do kids. Teachers have families, kids have youth, and of course, families too. Teachers have to spend time with their families. Kids have to spend time in their youth, and they have to spend time with their families too, in weekend at least. Youth don't last long. Kids needs memories when they are adults. They need free times to create those memorable tasks for them to look back at when they are in the future. Here's a little bit motivation for students. I know it's not going to be much, but if you have ever failed a subject but you scored very high in a subject that you never failed at, keep it up. You don't have to focus in those subjects you've ever failed at because you will need that in the future. Focus in the one you aced, the one that you scored very high at, the one you liked the most. Don't let the score drop. Focus on your strength because the stronger your strength are, your weaknesses will fade away. I'm Austin Tashiro, signing out. Happy New Year.
All right, thank you, Austin. What an interesting topic from you. Okay, let me invite our judge today who will give their feedback. Please welcome Teacher Ricky.
All right, Austin, great job, my man. That's amazing. I just want to say how much impressed I am with that performance of yours. Uh, I mean, the topic that you're delivering, I would say it's quite a interesting yet quite a serious topic. It's about education, and now me, Miss Defina, and people here at SML1, we are working on education. Obviously, we're working on how to make people be a better version of themselves. And as an educator point of view, sometimes there's a moment where we actually were the one learning from the students themselves, and I guess today is one of those moments. So Austin, thank you very much for sharing the ideas that sometimes people have their own passion and they should be respected for who they are. And as an educator, I agree with that. So great job. Now the first thing that I really love about yourself, other than the already creatively made speech, was how original that is. Like, the delivery themselves. It was very smooth. I could see there's a preparation put into it. The intonation was on point, and your smile is so infectious. You're really smiling throughout your speech. And to be honest, it kind of make it seem as if I've been listening a speech from a friend, a long lost friend of mine. So that is a very hard thing to do as a speaker. So you did it. You did it. Great job, man. If I could just put on a little bit of input, now you've done a great job with the content. You've done a great job in the vocal and the tonality part of the speech. What's next? Well, I guess, the camera position at the moment, I could only see just a little part of your head. So another level that you could try to work on would be to put on a bit of body languages. In order to do that, you might want to position the camera a bit lower. So we could see your hand movement and your hand gestures, your body. All right, you've had the expression already. So, if you could incorporate your body movements in it, that would that would do great job in increasing your speech quality to another level. But it is still a great speech on its own, and with wonderful topic. And I still would probably remember the opening for days to come. So great job, man. All right, back to you, MC.
All right, thank you, Teacher Ricky, and thank you, Austin, for the speech. Now let's have 1 minute of silence for our judges to finalize their evaluation. Alright, 60 seconds is up now. Let me invite you to our next speaker who will deliver a speech about you are not doing your best. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Celine.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone, wherever you are. My name is Celine, and I am a student, as you can probably tell from my uniform. So, anyways, I'm here today to tell you that you're not doing the best that you can, at least not for most people. Let me preface this by saying that everyone has things that they want, obviously. Everyone has things that they aspire to achieve, and they have this idealized version of themselves in their head. And yet, only a small percentage of those people are actually working towards it every single day. In fact, most people waste the days of their life without pursuing what they truly want. Because it's easy to dream, and it's not difficult to think about the things that you want. What's hard is achieving it. So, I have a friend. I absolutely adore her, and I do really want what's best for her. She's all in all a great person, but she likes to make excuses. So we both have been studying a foreign language for quite a while now. It has been quite a few years. And you're supposed to actually take exams to show your qualifications in the language. Specifically, you have to take it in a span of 5 years. And me and her both have been learning for almost quite, yeah, for about 5 years. Then I have taken them, and I will probably take them again next year. Well, in my friend's case, she hasn't even took the first one yet. She likes to make up excuses, and I really want the best for her. I keep pushing her to take the exam again and again, but she makes excuses like I do not have time, I'm not good enough, and etc. I know she's capable of it, but she just is very scared of it, I'm sure. She'll probably watch this when it goes live on YouTube. That's fine, ultimately, because it's really out of my power of what I can do to her. I want the best for her, but there's really nothing that I can do. Because we're all responsible for our own lives, and this is your life. You've got only one chance. It's yours and yours alone. Whether you move forward or backwards, it all depends on you. No one will save you, and people will help you occasionally, but ultimately, no one is responsible for your shortcomings. There are three main things that is holding you back from being the best you. The first one is your excuses. Like in my story, people love to make excuses. Of course, we are born with different capabilities and in different circumstances. What's easy for one person may be extremely difficult for another person. But you're not going to let it stop you, are you? If such trivial things are stopping you, you are probably not deserving of it in the first place. Double the difficulties and you will get twice the glory. The second one is your thoughts. People often underestimate the power of your mind. I was raised to never say the words I cannot. My father would scold me severely if I ever said it. Because the moment you think that you cannot before even starting, you're not going to make it. You have to think that you are capable of doing it to be able to unleash your full effort. Thoughts of self-doubt will eat you up. Thoughts like, I'm not good enough and it's too hard, they will not bring anything good to you. They do not help you accomplish anything. As cliche as it may sound, just do it. Just like Nike's logo. Just go out there and do it. You're not going to get anything done just by thinking about it. You're not going to get any kind of revelation just by thinking about it. Will it be perfect when it's your first time doing it? Of course not. But so what? Life goes on and you can look back on your mistakes and try again. The third one is the one I despise the most. It is laziness. We live in a society where laziness is so normalized. This happens because things are more and more convenient these days. For example, if you were to crave a burger, you can just order food delivery on the nearest burger joint. It's literally that easy. Of course, I'm not saying that convenience is a bad thing necessarily, nor am I not open to the options that technology has brought to us. I'm aware that technology and the Industrial Revolution as a whole has brought many good things to humanity, but in hindsight, I feel like it feeds our laziness. And to the point that sometimes our mind is so against trying new things, trying challenging things. Things have really been effortless in the 21st century. Our ancestors had to work really, really hard just to have food on the table. And that's how we, the human race, has survived for many, many years. We are met with difficulties, but we persevere through, and evolutionary traits are passed from generation to generation. That's why we are much smarter now. However, we are also much more lazier. I'll go a little bit off topic and I'll tell you how you actually build muscle. So, when you see people in the gym, like they lift weights, obviously it is to build muscle. You have to lift weights and eat enough to build muscle. So, of course, when you first start lifting weights, you won't get results immediately, but it will take time. And over time, you will need to lift heavier and heavier weights. It's called progressive overload. So let's say if a bodybuilder has been training for maybe 10 years, they need to keep lifting heavier and heavier weights. At first, you may start with like 4 kilograms of dumbbells, but eventually you have to lift to 10 kilograms, maybe 20, I don't know. But you have to keep pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. You have to keep challenging yourself. Because, for example, if this bodybuilder does not keep pushing himself, his muscles will deplete. So, in relation to laziness, we can see that it's very important to keep challenging yourself to grow as a person. I know that laziness is a part of human nature. I struggle with it, you struggle with it, and even the most successful people struggle with it. That's why I feel like out of the three, this one's the hardest to combat. However, I would like to say that the way to go around this is that you have to build daily habits. Things you do now determine your future. The more that you do these habits that help build your future, it will become normal. It will take an enormous amount of discipline, but if you have a clear vision of the goal, it will be worth it. Take it one day at a time and you will get there eventually. That being said, I think that's the end for my speech. I know I come off as arrogant in the speech, and if it does offend you, then I have reached my goal. I want you to push yourself out of your comfort zone, and I believe that you will make it. Thank you for listening to my speech.
All right. Wow. Thank you so much, Celine. We can learn so many things from your speech. Now let's hear from our judge. Please welcome teacher Devina.
How do I start? I'm dumbfounded though. Okay. Celine, this I really enjoy your speech. That's the first thing I can say because the way you said that's a very nice word arrangement. It has been a long time, and yeah, we didn't listen to that. And here's one thing. One of the judges said that you are one of the speaker that he will be paying for to speak. You know, basically because your ideas, your opinions all were arranged in a very well structure, and that's your strength, girl. Like when I was listening to you when you were talking about your friend's case, like, girl, you slay. Even if you were saying that you are arrogant, I personally don't think so because I will be very grateful if I have a friend like you. Because just by doing this in the speech, especially it's live streaming, it shows that you are a very loving and caring friend. You know, not many people out there, not many people out there. There are they want to do it for their friends' sake. You know, because I can just give other topics, but why are you bringing this? And to me, this is a very heartwarming speech because you're not only telling your friends, but you are also telling a lot of people who might be watching your videos right now that, hey, Celine's here, and I just want to tell you that you are not alone. That stop giving excuses. It might be you might be failing now, but if you keep on trying, if you keep on pushing yourself to your limit or even breaking up the limit, you will be able to do it. And that's a very nice one, Celine. You definitely did it. And the next thing I like about you is your controversial title. You are not doing your best. So basically, at the very first, I was thinking, what is she going to talk about? And I'm in love with your speech. That's a very good one. And keep on practicing on that. And the next thing I want you to maybe add some more as an input is you can in specific research in some specific moment you might try to play some expression, especially because you are not going to deliver a kind of topic at the same time, right? Today you are being serious, it's fine, but later, if who knows, you are going to tell a happy occasion or a sad or any occasion, you might want to try to adjust the expression so the speech could touch the heart even deeper, because just by right now you have touched my and Sir Ricky heart deep, yeah, super deep. And keep on practicing, keep on doing. One day you may be a speaker that people is willing to pay for. You'll shine, girl. Thank you. That's from me.
All right, thank you, Teacher Devina, for your feedback, and thank you, Celine, for your speech. Now, let's have 1 minute of silence for our judges to finalize their evaluation. All right, 60 seconds is up. Now, let me welcome to you our next speaker who will deliver a speech about importance of music. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Evan.
Wow.
Hi, Evan. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, now the stage is yours.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me here today. Today, I want to talk about music and specifically the importance music has in our life. Music is probably the only thing that no one in the world hates. Right now, we see a lot of people hating on a lot of different things, even small things. But obviously, even though people don't hate music, everyone has their own preferences. Some people prefer pop, some people prefer hip hop, rock, classical, and other type of music. Yeah, everyone has their own preferences, and we cannot hate on that. But I do believe that everyone in the world likes at least some form of music. So what I want to share about today is the importance of music in our life, like I said before, and the power it has on people. So I think we can all recognize that nowadays music is everywhere. Whether you go to the mall, whether you go to the school, or whether you attend a wedding or sporting event, there's music playing all the time. I guess the reasoning behind this is because music has the ability to create an ambience, or as we like to call it, a vibe. A party without music is it's not a party. It's just a bunch of people hanging out around each other. A movie without the soundtracks inside it will not feel the same. Won't have the same emotions. And if you go to sporting match or like a basketball match or football game, and there's no music, it won't be as fun. That's just the way it is. I think it shows that music has played an important part in our society and in our daily lives as well. But that's not all. Now, I would like to ask you a question. Think about your favorite song. You don't have to say it out loud, just think about what song comes to your brain. Now, why do you think that that exact song is the one you like the most? Does it make you feel any specific feeling? Maybe it makes you feel sad, happy, or does it make you feel focused or gives you motivation? Maybe you like that song because it just sounds nice. But no matter the reason, I think this is the power that music has. It can help everyone in every different situation. Now, quick flashback to a couple of weeks ago. The school basically just announced that we were going to take our test offline. Now, obviously, the past few tests, I think since 2020, we have done all our exams online. So I was a bit more calm, a bit more chill about the exam. But then once the school announced that it was going to be offline, I panicked and yeah, I quickly rushed to study my exam materials just 2 weeks before the exam started. Now, at this point of time, music really helped me a lot in my studying. I listened to some, I think, lo-fi music and even classical music. And yeah, it really helped me focus and even probably kept me from falling asleep a couple of times. But if you don't take my word for it, I guess we can look elsewhere. For example, professional athletes. Lately, I've been watching a little bit of racing of Formula One, and every single time before the race starts, these drivers they always listen to music, and in a YouTube video, they basically said to fans that it helps them focus and motivate them. So once the race actually starts, they are able to be alone in the car and just focus on driving. So yeah, like I said, music can help you get motivation and focus. Now, many people around the world have been doing this, so it basically proves my point that music has the power to help you do anything. But the last thing I want to point out is that music has the ability to make you feel and relate with other people. In one way or another, I guess it can be said as a universal language or language that everyone understands. There's been a lot of times, and I mean a lot of times, when I search for a specific song on YouTube, whether it be a music video or a live performance and other forms of music. So usually after I finish listening, I take some time to scroll down the comment sections. And over there, most of the time, you'll see a lot of people telling stories, sharing their experiences, and just telling other people how this song made them feel and how this song helped them. For me, it really made me feel like there are other people going through the same things as I am, you know. It makes you relate to other people. Yeah, that for me is fascinating because music, it brings us closer together and it unites us without even saying a single word. Now, to end this, I just want to say that I think we should be grateful for music and let's just enjoy it, you know, because frankly, life without music can be a little bit bland, a little bit flat, a little bit boring. In the past, it has helped me through a lot of problems. And I'm sure in the future, it can continue to help me, help you, and help everyone in the world. Because just like Beethoven once said, music can change the world. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Evan, for your speech. Now, let me invite our teacher to give the feedback. Please welcome Teacher Ricky.
Oh man, Evan! Hey there! Wow, I mean, actually, before you delivered the speech and I saw the title, and you said that you're going to talk about the importance of music, I already know that it's gonna be good because I used to work as a radio announcer, and I spent pretty much most of my days, delving into music, finding what's new. Sometimes when you are bored with listening new music, you just listen to the oldies. And it's just a world that you can never get bored of. It's a world that just never stops. It's the melodies. Yeah, so I really enjoy, and I'm really happy to know there was someone who are feeling similar the way I do. So, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts about music, even. Now, one important, interesting thing I could see from you is how excited you sound like when you are delivering about it. It was very smooth, and there is a certain feeling of excitement when you are speaking. And I think that just goes to show that whenever you're delivering a speech about a topic that you love, you shine the most. And that energy of yours is so infectious. So, keep on delivering music, in your speeches. and keep on giving off that energy, because that is the thing that changes people. Now, just a little bit I wanted to just talk about was, just like music. Yeah, music and speech, they're both the same. They're the testament of our expressions. So you have done great with your voice, and also with the content. I wish I could see more expression coming from you. Since we're talking about music, something that was fun. So, a little bit of smile wouldn't hurt. Yes. But that's it. It's just as simple as that. It was just those small thing. It was a small thing, but it definitely create whole lots of nuance depending on who are listening to the speech. Yes, but that being said, thank you very much. I enjoyed it so much. Back to you, MC.
Alright, thank you, Teacher Ricky, for your feedback, and thank you, Evan, for your speech. Now, let's have 1 minute of silence for our judges to finalize their evaluation. All right, 60 seconds is up. Now let me welcome to you our next speaker who deliver a speech about being healthy. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Grayson.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, judges. And I'm Christian from the House of Knowledge and will be delivering a speech about good health, about being healthy. Health is the normal and sound state of the body. It is a great source of peace and happiness. Health refers to a state of sound of mind and physically fit body free from any disorder, sickness, or ailment. In simple words, health refers to the physical, emotional, and psychological well-being of a person. Hygiene refers to the good practices that prevent disease and leads to good health, especially through cleanliness, proper sewage disposal, and supply of safe drinking water. It refers to all those activities that are done for improving and preserving, maintaining sound health. The proverb says that health is wealth. It is truly said that of the things in the world is the most valuable that one can possess. Money is no doubt a pleasant thing, however, it can give no pleasure to a man of ruined health. As body and mind are closely connected, the mind cannot sound and cheerful without sound health. Value and benefits of good health. Life is a great struggle, and health is the best weapon to be successful in the battle of life. A healthy man can enjoy life in every way. An unhealthy man lives a most miserable life. He may have intelligence, merit, and wealth, but he cannot put them to use and reap their benefit. Next, I would like to share 4 tips of hygiene habits for good health. The first one is pure water. Pure water is another source of good health. A great deal of sickness is caused by impure water. People in village, People in village often bath and wash clothes and cattle in tanks. If the water is used for drinking purposes, it may bring disastrous disease. To make water pure, it should be boiled so it may not harm the health of a person. The second is balanced and nutritious food. Wholesome food keeps our good health. A part of the food we take serves as fire to keep the body warm. Another part form flesh to give us strength. Pure milk is the most nutritious food. Vegetables and many other things that we generally take are nutritious food. A mixed diet is the best food for us. Stale and rotten food is dangerous for health. Meals should be taken at fixed time. Uh, and overeating causes many diseases, and special care is necessary about food when any when there's an epidemic or there's an endemic. The third one is cleanliness. Cleanliness is necessary for good health. It is the most important hygiene habit. Dirt spread diseases because germs thrive in it. They move about with the dust in the air, so a dirty man or a person is easily attacked with disease. The man who has a clean body and puts on clean clothes is free from dirt and dust, and no disease can attack him easily. Daily bathing is a good habit. It keeps our body clean. We should keep our clothes, beddings, food utensils, and all other things neat and clean. No dirt should be allowed to gather near our house. We should also keep our teeth and nails clean. We should remember that cleanliness is next to godliness. The fourth one is eye care. We should take a great care of our eyes. Both inadequate light and excess of light are harmful to our eyes. Eyes become fatigued by study and require some rest. Bathing the eye with cold water at night is a good hygiene habit. Not only hygiene habit is needed for good health, but there are also other measures for good health. For example, there is a regular exercise. Regular exercise is needed, and it is necessary to keep a good health. Walking in the just walk in the open air every morning and evening strengthens the muscles of the lungs and quickens the circulation of blood. Game every day before sunset is very advantageous. A man taking regular exercise will be much better fit for the duties of life than a languid bookworm will. Second is a pure air. The first requisite is pure air. To secure good health, we must have a sufficient supply of fresh air. For this, we should keep the environment clean. And the third is a proper sleep. There are a lot of people sleep too much. There are a lot of people sleep too little, and the average is about 8 to 9 hours for a person to sleep, and this renders them indolent. On the other hand, a jealous student goes to the opposite extreme. Both of these practices injure health. Early to bed and early to rise is the best course. So, in conclusion, we must learn a proper hygiene and practices to preserve our health. Too much work or exercise, eating or drinking are injurious to health. A regulated life is very helpful to a sound health. Above all, the mind too must be kept clean and clear. So finally, that's the thing that I can deliver for today. Sorry if there is a few words that is wrong spelled. And last but not least, I'm going to end it with a quote from Robert Sheep. Your health and well-being should be your number one priority. Nothing else is more important. I think that's all I can deliver for today. Thank you.
Nah. All right, thank you, Grayson, for your speech. From that, we know that we should take care of our body by being healthy. Now, let's hear from our judge. Please welcome Teacher Devina.
All right. Hello, Grayson. Well, the very first thing is that are you very interested in health? Like, you know what? You sounds like a young, yeah, a young health enthusiast because when you were telling about that, it shows that you are very full of energy and full of passion when sharing about that. And yeah, when I was listening to you, when I it was several times for me when I was yes, yes, yes. So that's a very good thing because you not only sharing out your opinion, but you also share of what have you been finding out and what do you think is like you are curating, okay, you are curating several information that you got into this one speech, and this is very nice. Not many people have the ability to curate and to make it every single point, and you also relate it with how does it happen in the usual, since you are students and you talk about students life and how they get rest early and then sleep early, and that's it. The next thing is your phrasing and pauses in every single of your sentence. It doesn't sound like you're stuck in the middle, or it doesn't. I didn't feel that you are confusing of your words, so that goes very smoothly. One thing that I might want you to add up more is you have a very good tone when you're speaking. The next, your content is nice. The third thing is I just want you to highlight your points. You know, when you are telling about, okay, the first point is you can try to use your hands. So if, because your English is very good, right? And when we are live streaming this, not many people will understand English that much. Some of the audience might not be really understand since you were talking a bit fast, maybe. And so when you show the points, the first point is this, the second point is the nutritious and balanced diet, the third, the fourth, and when you're showing that, people will know that okay, he is actually explaining about the point. So if they miss out the very first part of your speech, when they see at the next and the last part, they will still understand about that. Just that the highlight of your speech. So if you can make sure every time you deliver a speech, the audience can listen and can understand or at least memorize or remember the highlight of your speech, you're a good speaker. That's it. I don't know. I like the content very much. Keep on practicing. Keep on doing. You'll sign the future. Thank you, Grayson.
All right, thank you, Teacher Devina, for your feedback, and thank you, Grayson, for your speech. Now, let's have 1 minute of silence moment for our judges to finalize their evaluation. All right, 60 seconds is up. Now let me welcome to you our next speaker who will deliver a speech about self-love. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Hannah.
Can you imagine being in a real relationship with someone you don't love? Not just romantic relationship, but with family and friends. Imagine you feel that person is worthless and just not good enough for you. Now imagine you are in this kind of relationship with yourself. We as humans cared so much to be loved and loving others that made us forget that the most important one to be loved and for you to love is you yourself. There is a saying that goes like this: we never realize how important it is to love ourselves until we reach a point where we are about to lose ourselves. I have always envied those pretty, smart, nice, and talented ones. And I wanted to be like them so badly, to be favored by lots of people. At the age of 12, I started being obsessed over my weight. It was in 7th grade. That was the time I will skip meals at school and only ate fruit after I went home from school. I was still young, yet so crazy about the idea of being skinny. I even had that silly thought of going on an extreme diet because I needed that thin waist and small thighs, but thankfully I never actually did it because I knew exactly that it would harm my body. I used to be a type of person that lives up to others' validation. I wanted to look pretty, so others will not make fun of me. I studied to get good scores, and that is where I seek for my academic validation. And which is also never easy because at the first place, I was not born a genius. Then I hated crying in front of others so much just because I didn't want to appear weak in people's eyes. And one of the biggest reasons why I did all of this was because I was terrified. I was terrified of being left alone. So I put my worth on the hands of others, and I wanted others to make me feel that I am worthy enough and I feel like I was good enough. About 3 to 4 years ago was probably my hardest time. I was still a child, slowly and slowly stepping into my teenage years. For sure, many changes happened, not only physically, like my physical appearance, but also mentally, like the way I think. I had a hard time adapting and accepting those changes in me. I was in denial to those changes. So I struggled a lot and had numerous breakdowns. I was still in the process of searching my true self. I know today the reason why I stressed so much and felt empty was because I cared too much. I just cared too much of how others will see me, of how others will treat me, and of how others will think of me. Our society always and always gives us constant demands, unrealistic standards we need to fulfill in order to feel accepted. And that is why we constantly seek for acceptance and try to impress others, without knowing that if you keep on seeking for people's approval, then it will be a never ending journey. Because you need to know it is impossible to please everyone. Therefore, I started implying a mindset of not caring too much of what others might think of me. I stopped being hard on myself. I stopped caring about pleasing everyone. And it all started from my inner self. I told myself, Hannah, if you like it, you enjoy it, and it does not harm anyone, then you do it. What others might think later on, it is not of your problem anymore. We don't need society consent on what we should look like or be like. Now, think about your closest friends. The more you know them, the longer you spend time with them, the closer you'll become. It's exactly the same as the relationship with yourself. The more you focus learning about you, the more experiences you face together with yourself, then the closer you become with your own self. So spend some time alone building strong bond with you. Find the things that you truly enjoy and makes you happy. And you need to realize that not everyone you have met is meant to stay around with you forever. Some people will leave you, and you will also leave others. People will disappoint you, and all you can do is learn to appreciate them for what they have taught you and thank the people who have stayed by your side. You cannot feel fully satisfied with where you are going until you can accept, acknowledge, and appreciate where you are now. You must learn to completely love yourself first before you even try to love another. I am Hannah Levina Wijaya from SH2 Morality. Thank you.
Miss Rennie, you're muted. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yes. So, Hannah, great job. I really appreciate all of the things that you've brought, and I just want to say how I think and I just need to mention how impressing it is that you, someone who is on your second senior high, could talk about a topic and could just live in a world and just learn the thing that some people even took just their whole lifetime to learn. And and even me, an adult who was already almost, I was somewhere between 25, even I am still struggling to love myself sometimes. So I would just like to represent the whole people here who have trouble in finding love to themselves, to thank you for once again reminding us the value of what we have in ourselves. Now, to be honest, I just cannot believe that speech was coming from a second senior high. For a second, I really thought it was. I was on a speaker performance. I was watching a professional speaker delivering a professional speech about relationship with yourself, because that's just how good you are. I'm at loss of word. For a second, I even forgot to you that I have to evaluate. So that's how good you are. The content, the structure, you were talking about how the society and how it reflects to yourself and how we can learn and what you do. You talk about your struggle. Those things about being vulnerable is one of the hardest thing to do as a speaker, and yet you did it today. So I just want to say that I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. You know, to be honest, I don't know what I could like. When I was watching that speech, I was like, how am I gonna evaluate that? Because it was way too good already. So please don't stop speaking. Please share your thoughts to other people, because I believe there are lots of people who would want to hear your words, and they would definitely, one day, who knows, you might save a person. Because um, if like I really need this. Yes, I really need that, and I think a lot of people need to hear this thing every day, to self-affirm themselves. So yeah, thank you very much. Back to you, MC.
All right, thank you, Sariki, for your feedback, and thank you, Hannah, for your speech. Now, let's have 1 minute of silence for our judges to finalize their evaluation. All right, 60 seconds is up. Now let me welcome to you our next speaker who will deliver a speech about bullying at school. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kyla.
Good afternoon, everybody. So today I'll be talking about bullying at school. But before we get to the topic, let's talk about bullying in general. So what is actually bullying? So bullying is where somebody seeks to harm, coerce, or intimidate you, and try to harm you in some way where they will make you feel like you're weak and that you are not strong enough to fight them back. Of course, bullying happens a lot at school, and therefore that's why I'm talking more about bullying at school. So before that, let's also introduce ourselves to the two types of common bullying, which is verbal and physical bullying. So what is physical and verbal bullying? Physical bullying is where somebody basically harms you by trying to hit you, or I don't know, maybe they try to harass you in some kind of ways, maybe kick you, or yes, of course, try to harm you physically. As for verbal, it's more to like teasing, or maybe you are trying to like that bullies trying to harm you in some sort of way to affect your mentality by words, which is usually by teasing or maybe intimidation by words. It can happen even by social media, which is another type of social bullying and cyberbullying, but let's not talk to that part. So basically, these types of bullying happens a lot at school. Well, for physical and verbal, of course. So in my experience, of course, well, it happens a lot more of verbal bullying at my school. So basically, at the old times, according to my personal experience, well, when I was young, I used to get bullied a little for being kind of fat in appearance, cause I'm a little overweight actually. So basically, some boys would at the old times would tease me, "Hey, Kayla, you are so fat." Like in some points, I'm like, okay, that kind of hurts, but it's fine, cause in the end, it is the fact that I am trying hard to accept, and I will try to change that someday maybe. and that okay, maybe that's just a light kind of bullying. But okay, what if it's a heavier kind of bullying? Like, the kind where abuse starts to be involved, like maybe harass or do not stop talk until like rape or something that serious, that is way too bad. So but in like some cases where friends hit friends, okay, in those kind of terms there are three types of person. Three. So basically there is the bully, the victim, and the bystanders. Okay, so basically those three people are the one who are in, inside the bullying scene. So basically, the bully is, of course, the person who's harming the victim, and while the victim is the one who suffers all the negative effects of the bully. And what's the bystanders? Okay, the bystanders are the people around that bully scene, which is witnessing the bully at the scene. Basically, you can say it as the audience or the spectators. So basically, what I'm trying to highlight here is not actually the bully or the victim, or maybe like the actions of the bully or the pity of the victim itself. I'm trying to highlight the bystanders. So basically, why am I highlighting the bystanders? So basically, the bystanders are the spectators and the witness of the bully. So in some points, I actually want to highlight first the definition of bystander effect. So I think not all of you have heard about this before, but there is something called the bystander effect. So what is the bystander effect? The bystander effect is where, for example, there are three people and all of them are watching the bullies. So for example, there's person A, person B, and person C. So for example, this person A thinks like, okay, maybe I'll think that person B and C will try to involve themselves in this bully scene and try to save the victim from getting bullied. So person A will just think like that and does nothing. Person B, on the other hand, also thinks the same. Like, okay, maybe I think person A and person C will help the victim to get out of the bully scene, or be safe from the bully scene. But then, yeah, nobody does anything in the end because everybody thought that the other person will rescue the victim, the other person will rescue the victim, and in the end, nobody does rescue the victim. And in the end, the bully keeps on continuing, right? So that's the bystander effect in general. So why do I highlight the bystanders here? Is because I wanted this cycle of bystander effect to stop. We can lessen the bullies in around the world or in our school environment, for example, by just ending the bystander effect. Basically, by just trying to actually help the victim inside the bully scene. Instead of, just watching and thinking that somebody else will do and help the victim, how about you try to be the rescuer for this victim? But who knows what will happen when he or she is safe? Like maybe he or she could be a good friend, or he or she could thank you a lot, but of course we could not expect anything in return. Obviously, it's best if you do this out of your own goodness. Of course, I also don't force you to try and help to save the victim, but of course, I would suggest that you would try to not be the one of the person who is affected with the bystander effect, but instead become the actual bystander who would help the victim get out of the problem. Well, to prevent this kind of bully to happen, you can also try to step in, and maybe if it's too hard for you to solve single-handedly, try asking for an adult help or somebody around you who could be capable of trying to solve this kind of bullying problems. Because of course, not all kinds of bullying is possible for us to, like save the victim instantly, because there's some kind of severe bullying where the bully is very aggressive, who knows, like they actually try to physically hurt you too. As the bystander, you might actually become the victim too. At that point, it's much better for you to take or find an adult to help you rescue the victim. But anyways, one of the best ways is, of course, for bystanders to involve themselves in and help the victim, so that bullies may stop actually trying to bully, because they will be also afraid that the spectators will actually report them to an adult. So basically, that's one of the best ways to prevent a bully in school. But that's, of course, just in school. So maybe we can apply this kind of ways and in real life, but let's just hope that it is actually applicable in real life too, besides at school. So yes, I think that's all for my speech today. I hope it helps everyone who is bullied or is getting bullied or is the bully even, so that yeah, you can get out of this kind of problem and end up having a much better life instead of getting humiliated or harmed in bullies. So thank you. I'm Kayla from SH2 Morality. Thank you.
All right. Wow, it is really great of Kyla for bringing up this topic. Now let's hear from our judge today. So let me welcome teacher Devina.
Hello, Kayla. Well, as one of the person who has been ever bullied at school, I really appreciate, yeah, when I was in my junior high school though, I really appreciate of this topic because why? Yeah, I know Ashley has been bringing, but these two are very different. And you know what? One of the things that when I was listening to you, I was actually wondering what is she going to talk about? Because listening about the victim, it's a lot, right? Talking about the bullying thing in general, it's a lot. But when you talk about that, you want to highlight about the bystander, I was like, oh, now this is getting more interesting. So you seriously catch my attention in that. And when you were raising the awareness of not being the bystander and how can a bystander make someone getting bullied more, that's the effects that you were sharing out. Those were fantastic to me because those are the things that you might not be able to get from a lot of articles out there. You need to at least you see by yourself, you need to express your ideas, you need to pour out your opinions and your experience to be able to create that structure. And that to me is very good, especially your closing statement when you were when you were speaking out of, I hope that this could help you who are being bullied, or maybe it's the bully that makes me laugh in a moment. Okay, immediately that makes me laugh because yes, sometimes people do not realize that they are being the bully. They think that they are having a joke, but actually that's a bullying, and they didn't even realize that. So by having you speaking this out, live streaming, and yeah, this is amazing. I like on your ideas and your opinion and the thoughts that you share. And one thing at the very beginning, you were talking about bullying in general, right? And you were talking about two things, and you ended it with let's not talk about this. Well, if I can give some suggestion, if you have something that you don't want to talk about, you can just skip the sentence of let's not talk. You can just stop there, and then you can make a transition sentence to go to your next topic. So you basically don't, it's as if you don't really cover that, okay, I don't want to talk about this, but you are making a transition going to the next sentence. That you are shifting the topic without the audience realize, right? Okay, so that's the thing. And I guess you will be able to making that through the practice. Because imagine if I was talking about one thing and then, okay, let's not talk about this. But apparently that's the thing that I really want to know. So you are actually skipping an audience attention on one topic, right? But then if you are shifting through a transition through a sentence of one or two sentences, that you can bring the attention back to another topic that you want to direct them at. But anyway, I like the experience you were sharing. I like the ideas and the thoughts, especially the awareness of not being a bystander. Thank you, Kyla, and that's all my evaluation.
All right, thank you, teacher Devina, for your feedback, and thank you, Kyla, for your speech. Now let's have 1 minute silence for our judges to finalize their evaluation. Alright, 60 seconds is up. Now let me welcome to the next speaker who will deliver a speech about social media addiction. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Melvin.
Social media is nowadays a more exciting and fastest media ever had and newly evolving day by day. Moreover, connecting the people across the country. Apart from that, I myself learned and made more friends and family who were across the globe, and social media helped me to connect with them easily. I saw how the people are using this social media for their business purposes, some alerts on the disaster, and also our national leaders, celebrities made common peoples connect with them easily. Social media is a networking platform where people share their ideas, views, opinions, videos, audios, pictures, news, etc. using an internet connection. They enable people to stay connected with their friends and families. These days, we find that more and more are idling their valuable time on social networking sites. They begin to post and repost pictures, videos, and daily activities on the website to get a higher number of likes. Gradually, social media begins to affect emotional and mental health, which leads to social media addiction. Social media addiction hampers their productivity, concentration, emotional well being, and mental IQ. They find it challenging to deal with peer pressure and start comparing their lives with others. They feel depressed and desperate. Their anxiety level rises, thus causing illnesses. People should continuously keep assessing themselves by monitoring their activities on social media. They should keep a check on how much time they are spending on such websites. Furthermore, it will be best to take control of their actions before it converts into a social media addiction. It will be best. It is nice to interact with friends and families on social media in moderation, right? However, too much of anything is not suitable for health. I can say this because I have also experienced it as well. I played games all day and as a result, I got sick. But I was very addicted to games that even when I'm sick, I sometimes just look at my phone and play some songs or just scroll through apps the whole day. And surprisingly, that didn't even make me bored. But because of that, my illness did not get any better and I was sick for like 3 more days. Even after I'm not sick anymore, I knew that playing my computer or my phone too much will harm me, but I still do it. It's very fun to talk with friends online and play with them. But now I try to lessen my time on playing games and start to exercise, and rather than watching people play games online, I started reading online instead. And I'm currently trying to change my sleeping schedule because I always sleep so late at night, and I don't think that's healthy for me. And I know that saying it is way easier than actually doing it, but I will definitely try my best to change. I saw more people who were using social network as a daily life routine, and nowadays social networking sites marketing was also going to a new era in today's lifestyle. Although I already spoke that social media helps in connecting people, when I came to know that I used it as the advanced communication tool and learning media as well as a time pass. The biggest problem I have seen and seeing is that social media are mostly used as a destructive purpose rather than the useful purpose. Getting addicted to social media has made a bad impact on concentration, especially on the youth. Like, for example, my sister. She never leaves her phone behind and always carry it around. She is addicted to anime, watching anime and watching K drama. That almost every time I see her, she is always holding her phone watching something. Moreover, security towards women is also failing since creating fake IDs and false reports have made huge negative impacts on society as well as on upcoming generations. Nowadays, cybercrimes have been increasing day by day and a huge security has been imposing on it. Moreover, technology advancement has been made to uplift us, but today's scenario is a reverse of that. As far as much today, most of the media working hard on social security and protecting their users. To a self-analysis, Every technology has both positive and negative impact, like the two faces of a coin. That is, everything depends on us. Just a short quote that I can say is do things that can make you forget to check your phone. That's all that I can say today. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Melvin. Wow, that is a very nice tips for us to avoid social media addiction. Now let's hear from our judge, and let me welcome to you, teacher Ricky.
Wow, Melvin. You know what? When you're delivering those speeches about social media addiction, I swear I feel like I'm being called out. When you're talking about how, you've been playing games and then when you're sick, you're still scrolling through your phone. That hits a chord. Yeah, because I did that too. And I felt like in this era where, every people have smartphone and social media is a thing because we want to get acknowledgement, to connect with people. It is a real thing. Yeah, sometimes we are too used to the convenience that we forgot about it, and it is nice to have somebody remind us about it again. So great job. I really like your speech, man. It was so full of informations, but also there are some examples, real life examples about your sister, for example, in between. So it kind of gives us a little bit of originality and flair towards the speeches. So that all in all, the content really delivers. You really deliver the content through the content, and that's a really great and well rehearsed speech. Yes, I mean you're also delivering it smoothly. Now another level, I want another challenge that I want you to try to challenge yourself in is to put in intonations on certain interesting or important information, because if you use the same intonation on almost every part, I mean of course every part is important in a way, but what I'm trying to say is if there's few sentences, right, that you want the listeners to bring home, what would it be? That's the part where you can stress out. Yeah. So yeah. So for example, when you say social media is like the two sides of a coin. So yeah, you can stress about that part because I think that's quite interesting thing. Or when you're giving quotes. Yeah. But that being said, man, great job. I really love your preparation. You've got a great way of making content in a way that's very engaging. You got to give. Yeah. So keep on speaking, and I'll give the control back to you, MC.
All right, thank you, teacher Ricky, for your feedback, and thank you, Melvin, for your speech. Now let's have 1 minute silence for our judges if, to finalize. All right, 60 seconds is up. Now let me welcome to you our next speaker who will deliver a speech about winter solstice celebration. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Natasha. Hi Natasha, are you ready?
Oh,
Hi
hello.
Natasha,
Can everyone see my screen?
we cannot see your face.
But I already
Oh,
turned on my camera. Uh,
sorry. All right. Now your camera is on. Okay, thank you. Please turn on your mic.
Everyone can see me now?
Yes.
Okay. So, hello everyone. I'm Natasha Roxanne. It's an honor for me to get the chance to speak in front of everyone who is watching right now. The topic I will share today is a light topic, I can say, and it's related to what happening today on this beautiful day, 21st of December 2021. Yes, it's the winter solstice celebration or Tongji. This is the topic that I will be talking about. So, what is the winter solstice celebration? Let me explain to every one of you here. Dongji in Chinese means winter's extreme. It is one of the most important Chinese festivals celebrated by the mainland Chinese in China, Taiwanese, Hong Kong Chinese, overseas Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, Vietnamese, and other East Asian related people. The Dongji, it normally falls some day between 21st to 23rd of December, and based on Chinese lunar calendar, it falls on the 18th day of the 11th month. And this year's Dongji fall on 21st of December, which is today. Traditionally, the Dongji festival is also a time for the family to get together. One activity that occurs during these get-togethers is the making and eating of tangyuan or balls of glutinous rice, which symbolize reunion. Tangyuan are made of glutinous rice flour and sometimes brightly colored. Then they are cooked in a soup or savory broth with both in the bowl and the soup served in one bowl variations. And different variation might be found based on region differing in ingredients and method. As an Indonesian Chinese, my family we also celebrate this celebration every single year. We make tangyuan, the glutinous rice balls, or in my family, as we are from Medan, we call it as E, with lots of different bright colors the night before the celebration or last night. Then we cook it this morning on the morning of the celebration day, and after done cooking the tangyuan, the next thing we do is pray to our ancestors first. Then we just got to eat it, and I really like it. I could say it's a celebration enjoyed by everybody of every age, from kids to elderly. The festive food is also a reminder that celebrators are now a year older and should behave better in the coming year. Even today, many Chinese around the world, especially the elderly, still insist that one is a year older right after the Dongji celebration, instead of waiting for the Lunar New Year or your birthday. I hope now everyone know what is the winter solstice celebration or Dongji, and always respect people from other different cultures. Thank you for listening. Stay happy, stay healthy, and keep smiling. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Natasha. That is a very informative speech. Now, let me invite our judge who will give their feedback. Please welcome Teacher Ricky.
All right, Natasha, I really enjoy it. It's about winter solstice. Now, to be honest, I've heard about winter solstice, though I've never really understand like, you know, the importance behind it. And it is very cool to know that it was more than just a day. It was more than just a holiday for some people. But it was actually there are lots of histories. There are lots of people who celebrate it because obviously, we don't really celebrate it much here. So yeah, I mean, thank you very much for sharing it. And I think that the speech topic that you choose was very unique and interesting in a sense that that is not something a lot of people would choose. It is definitely a new thing, and I really like the way you deliver it. You seem so passionate about it. You seem that you really like to talk about it. Are you into Chinese culture, if I may ask? Ah, really? That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I could see. I mean, now, so Natasha, from that very short, few minutes of your speech, I could already see a lot of you. Firstly, that you are very well prepared, that you have so much passion when you're talking about the thing that you're interested in. And also at the same time, wow, you're so multi-talented. Not only could you, so obviously you could speak Indonesian, your English is not too bad. It's actually quite good. It's very fluent. And you also, I think you might also know Mandarin. So, that talent of yours of knowing different languages, you've put it on a good use by, sharing ideas to people, to different people. So great job. My only input for you was also, I think it wouldn't, just a little bit, it was just a little thing, which is just to try to smile a bit every now and then. I think this is a celebration. You're talking about something that makes people happy. It was not necessarily something serious. So it was a little thing because when you're talking as a speaker, one of the goal is to make the listener feel as if, hey, I'm your friend. Because yeah, it doesn't matter how great your speaker is if people doesn't listen. So obviously your content is good enough. Yeah, just add a little bit of smile and you would be not only a great speaker but also a very likable one. Yeah, great job. Back to you, MC.
All right. Thank you, Teacher Ricky, for your feedback, and thank you. All right. Now let's move. Let's have 1 minute silence for our judges to finalize their evaluation. All right, 60 seconds is up. Now let me welcome to you our next speaker who will deliver a speech about if you want to be happy, be. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Valencia.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. As you guys may know from my title, I'm going to talk about happiness. So, what is actually happiness? Can you actually seek it, or is it just some sort of short term feeling? Well, I don't know about everyone here, but I'm actually curious on what is the true meaning of happiness. In general, happiness is an emotional state characterized by feelings of joy, satisfaction, contentment, and fulfillment. And research suggests that happiness is a combination of how satisfied you are with your life. A quick example, finding meaning in your work, in your school, in your daily life, and how you feel, how good you feel on a day-to-day basis. Both of these are relatively stable, that is until our life changes and our mood fluctuates. But our general happiness is more genetically determined than anything else. To simplify this, think of it like your weight. Yes, your weight. If you eat how you want to and are as active as you want to be, your body will settle at a certain weight. But if you eat less than you like, or you exercise more, your weight will adjust accordingly. If that new diet or exercise regimen become parts of your everyday life, then you will stay at this new weight. But if you go back to eating the way you used to, or exercise the way you used to, then your weight will return to where it started. So it goes to actually for happiness. So speaking of this happiness, does education bring happiness? Or instead, does it bring you stress? For many, education is the key to a successful and a happy life. Education can lead to a better opportunity, a better job, and of course, a better future. And when you have those things, then you can be happy. Or is it though? Well, in my opinion, everyone has a different level of happiness. Sometimes by waking up, one can be happy, or by eating his or her favorite food, they can be happy. But others, even though they won a lottery, they buy a car, they buy a house, but they're still not happy. So, in order to state that education brings happiness to everyone is hard. But I do agree up to a certain point that education brings happiness to certain people, including myself. Well, I think with education, I learn a lot, and with education, I feel more confident in myself. Sometimes education brings me stress. Maybe I feel like I'm not good enough in subjects, or maybe I can't do the exam and stuff. So all of this actually goes back to every one of you. I actually get a lot of questions from my friends or the people around me about how am I happy every day, or how do I look happy every day? Don't I have an unhappy moment, or do I just not care about anything? Well, that's an interesting question. One thing I can say is I do encounter a lot of problems. And I do cry a lot for these problems. But how do you always look so happy? Maybe some of my friends will ask. One tip that I can give is when you encounter an unhappy thing or an unhappy moment, be like a fish. Yes, a fish. A fish has only up to 7 seconds of memory, and when I encounter an unhappy moment, I tend to forget about it and just moving on with my life. Yeah, I think everyone should do that as well. And when you do encounter a happy thing, keep it and keep it in your heart. So next time when you encounter an unhappy moment, remember the happy things that you kept in your heart, and remember sometimes it is okay not to be okay. To summarize all of that I mentioned before, does education brings happiness? Yes, for certain people. So how do we seek happiness? Well, everyone has a different method of being happy, and you actually do not need to seek for it. It is there actually beside you. You just need to pay more attention to the people that love you, to everyone, to your friends, and of course to yourself. And the main thing is love yourself. So that is my meaning of happiness. And what's yours? Thank you.
Thank you, Valencia. That is a very nice tips to be happy. Now let's hear from our judge. So please welcome teacher Devina.
Well done, Valencia. You know what? I give my applause when you finish your speech because that was just so wonderful when you were sharing about the meaning of happiness in your opinion, and to me, that touched my heart. So I'm being serious that I was actually giving applause after you finish your speech, because you don't just remind me of, hey, happiness does not need to be see from outside, it comes from us. And your title itself, it has a very good quality, because most of the time the title will only be happy or a very short topic, but then your title itself shows the quality of your speech, and that's very good. The next thing is, when you were discussing about how education brings happiness to everyone, but it's not, it might be to certain people. That's a good and an interesting point of view, because you were actually sharing about something controversial, but then you were dragging it to positive sides, and that's very nice. Not many people can is able to do that, because most of the time when people are bringing such controversial topic, that could become a, how do I call, an argument or a debate, to which makes the whole speech and the quality of the speech become a decrease. But then you yourself, by bringing out the opinion of yourself and sharing your very own experience, you actually increase the quality of your speech, and that's very nice. And throughout the speech, you will actually being vulnerable, and that's what we want from a speaker. What's next that I guess you might want to work on? This is just very trivial, but in several points, I actually see you were looking down there, but I don't know what is happening. Maybe you are looking at the screen or else, but I actually keep on looking at you. So when you were getting out your eye contact, especially this is online, right? So we can be seen very clearly by the audience, and when our eyes goes to different direction, the audience can actually realize that. That's just that. But for the tonality, for the content, I really enjoy that. And I'm being serious and giving applause at the end of your speech. Well done, Valencia.
All right, thank you, Teacher Devina, for your feedback, and thank you, Valencia, for your speech. Now let's have 1 minute silence for our teacher to finalize their evaluation. All right, 60 seconds is up now. Let me welcome to you our next speaker who will deliver a speech about the journey of Vincent. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Vincent itself.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So, a month ago, I talked about something that was related to my first 100 million rupiah. This month, in this last public speaking session, I'm so grateful and thankful that I'm able to, or going to, talk about my first billion rupiah. You guys might be wondering, how is that even possible? The answer to that question is I trade. I trade on binary options, forex, cryptocurrencies, and on the stock market. I get pretty lucky on stocks and cryptocurrencies, but it's been almost 2 months since I quit options and forex because it's been very stressful. You can be rich quickly, but you can also be poor very quickly. But since it's been a while, I think as soon as 2021 ends, I'll go back to options and forex. And before I talked about my first 100 million rupiah, I have actually long surpassed that number. And right now, I'm on my way to my first $1 million. I do hope that I'm able to get my first $1 million before the age of 70, or at least before I graduate from school. It may sound impossible, but why not give it a try? Because a year ago, I also thought that my first 10 million rupiah before the age of 16 was impossible. But thanks God, I'm able to surpass it and be able to be where I am right now. So even if it may sound impossible, why not just give it a try? But the real achievements are not on the numbers I've achieved. Instead, it's the process that I've went through. Being able to experience the process and being able to enjoy the process. That is the real great achievement. Because from the process, we learn. But of course, there are no easy process in this world. There are always ups and downs. To be able to be where I am right now, I have gone through a lot. I have risked and lost a lot. I have lost more or less 200 million rupiah. I trade when teachers are explaining. Instead of trying to study harder for my exams, I decided to give up on studying and yeah, go back to trade. That explains why my scores are not that good. Yeah, unfortunately, when I gave up on my studying, I was already halfway through. I even decided to not join two trading competitions because I wanted to study for my tests. But at last, I still failed my test and I did not join the two trading competitions. So my psychology was messed up. And actually, that's not the only obstacles that I faced. There are many more obstacles that I need to face. But thanks God, I'm able to go through all of it and learn something from it. Every time I feel like giving up, I always say this to myself: you have to lose millions to get billions. And even if you want to give up, make sure you've got back what you've lost. Thanks God, I did not give up and I'm able to be where I am right now. I believe that every obstacle you overcome makes you stronger. The stronger you get, the easier it becomes to overcome new obstacles. Right now, I'm very interested in the metaverse, NFTs. They're very popular these days. I started to explore more about it and also tried to learn more about it. And I'm going to start as soon as possible. Who knows, maybe one day we can be a millionaire from it or even a billionaire from it, right? Believe it or not, there's a 12 years old kid. She sold a NFT for $1.6 million. Big brands like Adidas, Nike also have entered the metaverse. Adidas even sold their NFTs and they have earned more or less 316 billion rupiah. And Nike will probably start selling it soon. And of course, that's not it. There are a lot more greater achievements out there that others can get. This is why I believe that it's definitely worth trying. So just start and don't give up. Failure is success in progress. Instead of letting your hardships and failures discourage or exhaust you, let them inspire you. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that try to start as soon as possible. Try to explore new things. Try everything you know until what you like and what you don't. Once you know about it, start small. You do not have to start with 100 million rupiah right away. Nowadays, you can even start investing with only 10,000 rupiah. I also believe that 10 million rupiah is more than enough for you guys to start anything that you like. Make sure you don't stop learning and never give up. Even if all odds are against you, never lose hope and walk ahead. Success comes to those who strive for it. I am sure we will be all successful. Since this is the last public speaking session, I would like to apologize to everyone. I'm truly sorry if I ever hurt you or your feelings. I'm truly sorry for my words and actions. I am also sorry if this speech may sound arrogant. I do know that I may be arrogant sometimes, I admit it. Honestly, I am trying hard to become better for you guys. I'm sorry if I ever hurt you. I humbly ask for your forgiveness. And also thank you everyone, Samash, teachers, coaches, my friends. It's been a great time. I really enjoyed this CCA. Since this is also going to be on YouTube, is it? Okay, but never mind. I hope that when we rewatch this video, probably 10 years from now, I hope that we are all watching it when we are all already in the state what we call as successful, or at least we are financially free. And even if it is not on YouTube, I hope that we are successful already 10 years from now. Actually, that's it. I hope that this speech can motivate you guys, not just to start investing or trading, but anything that you like. Once again, I'm truly sorry. Success ahead, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.
All right, thank you, Vincent. And yes, it will be aired on YouTube. And now let's hear from the judge. Please welcome Teacher Ricky.
Sorry. Oh my God, Vince, my man. I'm at loss of words. I just want to say I totally vibe with you. I love your style. I like the way you speak. You're the kind of person I want to be sitting with on a cafe and just talk with. I really like the way you delivered the speech. It was very relaxed. There was so much honesty and there was so much truth in that. And you know what? I've always said this to all of my students, all of the people that I'm training. Public speaking is about freedom of expression. If they don't accept what you think, then they're not for you. So great job for delivering today, Vincent. Great job. I think I enjoyed it. It's been a while since I've last heard such an on a speech, and you're the very. I think you know. It's the first time I heard someone who said, "I lost 200 million rupiah without batting an eye." I mean, like if I lost 200,000, I would be rolling on the floor, But man, great job with those. I mean, you're one of a kind. I could see that. That being said, I think if you could maybe work on the intonations a bit. I can't really say that for sure because I'm pretty sure even if you're delivering it the way you are, there's a certain market for your way of delivering. So, but if you wanted to, reach a broader audience, yes, you might want to work on, putting on different facial expression and intonation on some certain parts, especially the parts where you want to deliver the message. But even you, the way you are, I would totally be. I totally buy it. I'm not kidding. I totally dig it. So yeah, great job, man. All the best for your future, and I'm looking forward to see you in 10 years as well. Back to you, MC.
All right, thank you, Teacher Ricky, for your feedback, and thank you, Vincent, for your speech. Now let's have 1 minute silence for our teacher to finalize their evaluation. All right, 60 seconds is up now. Let me welcome to you our last speaker today who will deliver a speech about parent-child relationship. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Yovin. Hi, Yovin.
Hi, can I start
Okay,
now?
are you ready?
Yeah.
We cannot see your face.
Uh, uh, Now?
No. Please turn on your camera.
I already turned on.
Okay.
Is it on?
No, not yet.
Wait. Can I generate? Wait.
Okay, sure.
10 seconds.
All right, welcome back now. Please let me welcome our last speaker today, Yovin.
The bond that links your true family is not one of blood, but of respect and enjoying each other's life. That is a quote that relates to my topic for today. Good morning, everyone. Thank you to each of you and every one of you for being here with me today. I'm very happy and thankful as well for being invited into the real stage. and my topic for today will be about the importance of the parent-child relationship. Parent-child relationships are a lot like riding a bike. A parent is always there in the beginning, holding on and teaching, and then as the child gets better, they let go and the child is on their own. Throughout life, everyone has some sort of parent-child relationship, whether it's through biological parents, adoptive parents, or guardianship. From the first few years to teenage years and then to adulthood, the relationship between children and their parents will change significantly. In a children's first month of life, they depend on their parents entirely. A baby relies on his or her mom and dad for everything, from food and comfort to diaper changes. At this point in a baby's life, the parent-child relationship is very strong. The baby has its full trust in their parents, and the parents trust their baby needs as well. As a baby gets older, they depend lesser on their parents, but they still need almost a constant watch. Reaching the toddler's age, this is where they develop with their parents. Children learn about the world around them through a positive parent-child relationship. As they are growing and changing, children look to their parents to determine whether or not they are safe, secure, and loved. They will still need help getting food, but at this point, they may be able to use their bathroom on their own or with a little assistance. Toddlers would be about 2 to 4 years old and still think that their parents are the greatest heroes in the world. And I believe this strong relationship is the reason why children cry when a babysitter comes over to watch them. They only trust their parents and get scared around new people. At this age and a few more years to come, the parent-child relationship is strong, and the children looks up to their parents. Moving on to the preteens and the school age, this time family is a secure emotional base, where children feel loved and accepted, no matter what's going on in the rest of their life. Parents can build and support their child confidence, resilience, optimism, and identity. This is also the age where parents start to set rules, boundaries, and standards of behavior, giving their children a sense of consistency, predictability, safety, and belonging. Supportive and close family relationships also protect children from risky behavior, like drinking alcohol and using drugs, and also problems like depression. Reaching the teenager's age, most of the things will start to get complicated and difficult because the parent-child relationship will start to get distant. Teenagers will start to engross with their electronic gadget that they become addicted and pay less attention to their parents and ignore them. Another factor is that they start losing communication. When parents do not explain to their child why they are setting rules, the child may be able to think that their parents are very unreasonable, leading them to be rebellious and starts to hate their parents. When parents and teenagers drift apart, teenagers might be influenced by a bad example from peers, as their parents did not continue to educate them. Distant relationship is a serious matter as it affects the teenager's growth, emotion, and character. In a good relationship, teenagers show respect, take their parents' feelings into account, trust them, and concern about them, and are interested in their lives. However, in a distant relationship, teenagers does not portray any of the following attitude. And luckily, I'm in a good term parent-teenager relationship, and I'm very thankful and happy for it, and I hope all of you are as well. Moving along to the college age, in my opinion, I think this is where parent-child relationship will get strange. Because of moving away from home and starting higher education, they can leave children feel stressed. All of the structures and familiar comforts of home have gone, and they no longer have set routines to fall back on. They don't have their parents cooking meals for them, doing their laundry, and setting boundaries. They also don't have their mom and dad on a hand with a hug, advice, or reassuring words when they need them. Now, they need to set and stick their own routines, create their own boundaries, and solve many day-to-day difficulties by themselves. This might inevitably change the parent-child relationship forever. And they will also be meeting new people and be exposed to many new influences which can change their perspective of the world and the way they live their life. Parent-child relationship during this age could be a bumpy journey, but after completing college, I think that the relationship might strengthen back due to children will no longer be a children anymore, but have turned into adult, and the communication topic will start to get similar because now they have responsibility as well, and their parents could be their mentor for the rest of their adulthood journey. I think that's all I have to say for today. And before I end this speech, I would like to wish all of you to have a very healthy and good relationship with your parents, because they are the one who will be there for you whenever you need them. Your friends, partner, and everyone else you are close to will not always be there for you, but not your parents. They will always stay by your side no matter what happens. And if you not have a bad relationship with your parents, I think you should try to make it better because they are the one who will be there for you whenever you need them. Your friends, partner, and everyone else you are close to will not always be there for you, but not your parents. They will always stay by your side no matter what happens. And if you not have a bad relationship with your parents, tell her Happy Mother's Day and tell her that you love her a lot. And also buy her something special. That's all for my speech for today. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Yovin, for your speech. What a nice speech. Now, let's hear from our judge today. And let me invite our teacher, Miss Davina.
Okay, Yofin, it's a it's a very heartwarming, especially when I was listening to you telling about tomorrow is 22nd of December is Mother's Day and remember to buy flowers. I guess if your family is watching it right now, you are obligated to fulfill what you said tomorrow, right? But overall, I agree to your point of view about the parent-child relationship and bringing up this topic. It's a bit sensitive, but then you did it very well because along the way, when you were telling out the parent-child relationship on how parents raise up from kids, and you going through every single stage until you reach the stage of the college and yeah, when we become a college student, that is the moment when you were saying that it becomes strange. And I personally actually wonder, is there any way, according to you, that can help to strengthen the bond? Because, when you were telling that, you were actually saying that, oh, okay, this is the phase or the stage where parent and child could have a strange because they are getting further. And is there a way, according to you? That is one thing that I actually wonder. If you can add that up, you are not actually giving out the general comments about parent-child relationship, but you are actually also giving the tips or tricks on how can we be able to restore the relationship, which might be starting to get strange because of the distance. But that's it on the minor part of the content. But a part of that, you were also saying about thankful for your parents, and you were also sharing a lot about parent-child relationship, and that was the thing that it is not something that can be get in a one day. And the other thing that you might want to add some personal experience, not just your opinion, but your personal experience throughout the speech to help the audience flow along with the speech. Like when we are in primary school, you can share one or two things that is very memorable that can engage to the audience. If they can relate with your experience, that could help the audience to remember more about your speech. So not just parent-child relationship, but what is your personal insights? What's your personal experience throughout the topic? But a part of all, this is one of the very important, according to me. The way you say it is nice. The way you deliver it is nice. The content, I like it. One thing that at the very beginning, I was actually not being able to get an eye contact from you because you might be looking at the screen and not exactly to the camera. So, well, if you,
Yeah, I was looking at the screen.
yeah, that's why. So in some points, you might want to try this when you are looking at the screen. I know getting the audience reaction is also nice, right? When you're looking at the screen, try to also adjust it to the camera so the audience can get at least a little bit of eye contact from you. Because eye contact can lock the heart. That is what we believe in SML1. But a part of that, keep on practicing. One day, who knows, you might be called to the stage to talk about parent and child relationship. Who knows? Nothing is impossible. Keep on practicing and keep on shining your fin.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Teacher Devina, for your feedback, and thank you, Yovin, for your speech. Now, let's have 1 minute silence for our judges to finalize their evaluation. Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of Speaking Warrior Training Real Stage. Dear all trainees, remember, no matter how good our speech is, how good the skills we have, but if we don't have manners, we cannot give an impact to your life. SML1 always says that to be a good person, you need to make sure you have a great skill and good manners, so it can give impacts to our life. And also remember what the school has taught us. Thank you to Nanyang Zehui School for providing a platform for the students to boost their confidence, and also thanks to all the teachers, family, and everyone. Thank you so much for the support. Let us make this world beautiful from our small actions. See you in the next session tomorrow. SML1, making you better you. Bye.